Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes. We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt when you're facing...
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone Messiah, Phillip Brandon, joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tango, and we're here to recap another week that was in the world of professional wrestling. How we feeling, man?
Well, Philip, we're doing pretty good. Feeling a lot better than the last time I recorded the podcast. Not this podcast, but Curveballs and Chair Shots. If you want to listen to a severely hungover Brandon after his birthday celebration. That wasn't actually like his birthday celebration. It was someone else's, but I just showed up and made it my own. So we're here. We're here to talk wrestling post last weekend and upcoming, because there's always shows coming up.
Look at that. All right, we're going to get into it real quick. Saturday night's main event, Trick Williams defeated Laredo Kid at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. We have new women's tag team champions in Fatal Influence, Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley. Sorry. They defeated Paige and Brie Bell at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Congratulations. Danhausen defeated J.D. McDonough. No disqualification match, 11:35. Lyra Valkyria. Shout out Lyra Valkyria. I dig the new look and the new presentation. She defeated Bailey at 10 minutes and 30 seconds by technical submission. She's using the blood choke now. How do you feel?
Great. I think Lyra is someone that always feel she could have been doing better, doing more, and hopefully this leads to some sustained success, easy for me to say, in the women's division. Hopefully they're building up for something.
Sustainable success. That's what we're looking for. Then the WWE champion CM Punk and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defeat former world champion Gunther and former WWE champion Sami Zayn at 14 minutes and 8 seconds. Nick Aldis showed up as Gunther was about to get the pin, pulled out the referee, caused a whole kerfuffle, which we'll talk about. We just talked about it now. The kickoff happened the day after in New York, and it's official. Gunther versus Nick Aldis is official for SummerSlam.
Yeah, something we've been speculating for quite some time. Maybe thought they'd elongate a little bit, but no, go straight to SummerSlam, which makes a lot of sense. And I think it's a perfectly fine mid-card match that is going to have some heat to it. I wonder what they do to build up Nick Aldis, because, we know his, pedigree off WWE television, but are they going to, tout that? Are they going to show TNA clips? Are they going to show NWA clips? Or TNA clips, NWA pictures, probably.
I feel like they will, because if you watch did you see the kickoff? Did you see any of it?
I did not watch any of it.
Bro.
I was recovering.
Nick Aldis was like, "Boy, you must have forgot who I am." I said, "Oh, really?" So yeah, no, they got heated up with that, and then obviously the Cody and Punk of it all. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this. Nick Aldis, during that run with the NWA title, man, he was doing some great work. Really revitalized the brand. I'm not gonna say him alone, but yeah, not just the stuff he was doing and the presentation, it felt big. And when they were on YouTube, when they got that 605 on YouTube, man, there was a couple of months there that thing was hot. It was white hot. It was, I wouldn't say, all right, I almost said white hot, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And
it was orange hot.
It was getting some buzz. It was getting some buzz. So yeah, man, shout out to Nick Aldis. Speaking of white hot, man, I've been hearing this conversation over the last week. The most white hot guys in the history of the business. Obviously Hogan, obviously Austin. Cena? Is it because we were kids?
No, I would say there was no point where Cena was undeniably white hot. You look at even the WrestleMania where his coronation was, he wasn't even in the main event. It was Batista. Batista was the guy over John Cena at that point.
Yeah. But I
forget about that.
No, yeah, people do forget about that. But I'm thinking, I'm really trying to think about, pop culture, people were doing this, right? Yeah. people were saying they can't see me. It's I mean, because if well, I mean when you look at like Austin, like he was everywhere. He was everywhere. Hogan was everywhere. Who? What other guy? Not of those eras.
The bloodline, the recent boom is just so hard to kind of quantify, which I mean, I know we've taken a little step back from it, but still it's like what could you say was the white because the match at WrestleMania 40 was a white hot match, but
I
you couldn't like put it on one person. It was just like a cocktail that made it white hot of Cody, people getting behind him, the Rock thing, the bloodline being forever, Roman finally like clicking on a certain level. Like it's kind of hard because it's not like one specific thing. It's just everybody was in the right place at the right time to make that.
I think what they mean by like, obviously white hot man like Hogan at his peak at his heyday he was everywhere. Austin at his peak in his heyday he was everywhere. I mean even like he was on like Nash Bridges was like it was a very popular show at that period of time. Obviously everybody's wearing Austin 316 shirts and you know trying to drop stunners on each other. Well, I feel like Cena should be there because he was the top guy. He did it longer than Hogan and Austin did. But it's just like if you have to pick a year, what year was Cena white hot? He was that baby face. He was everywhere. What year is that? For Hogan, there are multiple years you could do it. For I mean Austin, like '99 Austin, bright white hot. Well, what's Cena's? When is it? We're talking like '07, '08.
Probably somewhere in that nature. But like when I quantify the term white hot, I feel like an undeniable needle mover drawing so much like and I know, we talked about John Cena's legacy in his career, and I just feel like John Cena is not on that same level as those other guys. Like you could say The Rock in 2000 was white hot. Goldberg,
that
Sting, kind
so
of.
Goldberg, they brought up Goldberg. I got this conversation from Cheap Heat. Shout out Rosenberg and those guys over there. But man, like they did bring up Goldberg. Like his that before the streak got beat and leading into everything, especially leading into the match in the dome with Hogan, white hot. I heard NWO brought up as white hot. I mean, even now, bro, like Justin Bieber did a whole what like mini concert at Fanatics Fest. NWO shirt, NWO Tron in the back. 30 years later, they still have this impact on pop culture. I guess that's what it is. Like, who was white hot and had an impact on pop culture?
I mean, just pop culture. I mean, everything's just so segmented now that I don't see. I mean, it's almost like force fed. I mean, we saw the end of Saturday Night's main event with Jalen Brunson and Roman Reigns, and that's clearly like a corporate level trying to have their sports center moment. And I don't have an issue with them doing this because, like, I think it was a great moment for everyone involved. New York City, Madison Square Garden, they loved it, no doubt. But just when this is like a nationally worldwide televised event that you're making the show's main event and having people where like 2%, I would say, of anyone watching that show legitimately cares about the New York Knicks winning the new championship. Like, why is that? Why are you forcing us to watch that?
Because they were in New York, you know. I mean, it led to Seth Rollins, attacking Roman Reigns and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Which then they didn't even talk about on Raw. They just like completely ignored it. And I think it's like it's such a thing of WWE right now of like their main event scene that we saw with the Punk Cody thing is they're trying to like make I think everything like too ambivalent or honestly both guys are not really the most likable people in the world and it I think they're trying to like be too smart and too cute for their own success. And the crazy part is like the stuff that's clicking the most is just the simple booking of Brock and Oba, two badass guys just going
Which
at it.
let me talk about that, man. I've been watching Unreal, and I remember when people were not happy when John Cena lost like that to Brock Lesnar on one of his last dates. What Obafemi is experiencing now, the trajectory that guy is on, the fans are behind him. The I'm not going to say the Rockets have been strapped to the kid's back or whatever, but man, Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena like that, so Obafemi could do what he did to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, so we can get to where we are right now. It's as simple as that, man.
I mean, yeah, I mean you can argue that Brock didn't need it, but we forget that Brock at that point There's a lot of stuff going on with him and the Janelle Grant stuff, and people weren't really caring for him, and like he's kind of been there, done that. But it did give him a little bit of a jolt. But I think honestly, like the Oba thing would have happened
But
regardless in terms of
we
like
don't know
if they
that.
put him. But I'm saying like if they put him together, I think Oba could have been like as hot. But I think it did give Brock a little bit like neg negative
It,
momentum. But like at this in 2025, 26, like what is negative feelings like heat or like real heat or kayfabe heat?
we
Who knows at this point?
it look it did what it was meant to do. I mean, they literally say it in the show, man. But yeah, Unreal is out there. It's a good it's a good watch, for like the fellow professional wrestlers, trying to understand why we're doing things and certain stories and why things are happening. That first episode, it gives you a lot of explanation. They talk about Liv Morgan, obviously. Braun Breaker apparently was supposed to win the Royal Rumble this year, but they went to the Tribal Chief instead. So yeah, man, go give it a watch. Let us know what you think. Santana, yeah, Mike Santana's NXT debut. How do we feel?
Well, he's not Santana. He's just that guy who won the who won the TNA title. Um, so yeah, he showed up after the Tony D'Angelo and it was an NXT title match with Naraku.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, Evil. I love how they tweet out Naraku has evil intentions and it's evil in all caps because that's how he was spelt in New Japan, but they don't call him evil. But anyways,
It's back in the day they wouldn't have even done that. So.
but they've done it so many times. It's like, all right, people, we get it. I mean, this is speculated for a long time that he was going to come to WWE, whether he would go in NXT or go to the main roster. I think him in NXT is a fine fit. I don't see him as like a difference maker on the main roster. So put him in NXT where you give them some star power. They're kind of lacking in that veteran kind of established presence. They're definitely kind of in a new era of NXT with so many call ups on the men and women's side. So you know, especially on the men's like main event title scene, they're kind of hurting right now. So I think it makes all the sense in the world. And I guess we'll have to wait and see what his name is. I wish it was just Santana, but it probably is going to be some AI generated Puerto Rican name that they come up with.
Here, let's. You know what? They keep saying that these people use Chat GPT. Should we find out? Should we find out?
Sure, ask ChatGPT to make a Puerto Rican from New York wrestling name.
Let's see.
It's just going to spit out
Make a
Savio
wrestling
Vega.
name. What did you say?
It's going to just pop out Savio Vega.
No, that's crazy. Let's see. A Puerto Rican wrestling name. Let's see. It didn't spit out any of these. El Barica Bravo. El Diablo de San Juan. El Matador Baricua. All right. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Hold on, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT because sometimes for these ones you have to give him like a bunch of like prompts to kind of steer him in the right direction. So hold on. So I'm gonna ask that give me a list of names for a Puerto Rican male pro wrestler from New York.
Let's see.
All right, we got Rico Rivera, Tony El Toro Torres, Julio Santiago, Angel Cruz, Victor Vega. Hey, watch out for Victor Vega. They like a good alliteration. They like to put the Vega for the Puerto Ricans. Marco Morales,
Did you get
Dante Rosario.
did you get Frankie Flores?
I did not get Frankie Flores.
Tony Torres.
Modern main event style: Ace Rosario, Jet Vega, Cruz Santiago, Roman Torres, Zion Morales, Phoenix Cruz, Pirate
Mateo
Nate.
Morales.
Thank you.
Roman Rivera. Cruz Santiago.
So they're just like obviously these are probably like Puerto Rican names, and so they're just like putting the first name and the last names because we're getting very similar type names. Enzo Rivera.
Angel Vargas. I actually went to school with a guy named Angel
They
Vargas.
actually are giving me like a lot of names. Like they're giving me like names for baby faces, names for heels, names for a luchador. Okay, ChatGPT, I see you. If you're going for a Puerto Rican male pro wrestler from New York, you can lean into a mix of Puerto Rican heritage, New York City attitude, and memorable wrestling branding. Here are some ideas by style. And I just killed like 5 trees by doing this search. Sorry,
Wow. How do you wait? What?
because the ChatGPT, the AI needs data centers, which then in turns needs cooling, which means it needs water, which means it needs energy, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So yeah, just because you type something into your little computer box doesn't mean it's just, magic and there's no real world consequences for it. And I hate to bring the vibe down, but that's what I'm here for. Sorry. Anyways, Bailey, she was attacked, one could say written off television from Saturday night's main event with a brutal beatdown of Lyra Valkyria after their match. And then there was some reports coming out that WWE has not re-signed Bailey to a new contract, and it is coming up. We've seen in the past, Sheamus, New Day, they're kind of like all in that same era of those veteran wrestlers. They are probably going to look for them to restructure, take a pay cut. Bailey seems like the prototypical company woman, but she's very talented. She would get a lot of offers elsewhere, obviously from AEW with her connection with Mercedes Money. So this was a big week for the Bailey leaving WWE speculation to really start up. I mean, we've been kind of hinting at it for the last few weeks, but it's definitely kind of turned up, I think, after Saturday's main event.
Yeah, I mean Bailey, not Bailey, Mercedes has been posting graphics and things like that. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, we've said it time and time again. Probably the most talented of the four is Bailey, but
I would say she's the
I
most
don't.
well-rounded
Yeah, yeah. There we go. That's the word or phrasing. Well rounded. I
in more
I don't
ways than
want to.
one, respectfully, of course.
Okay. I don't want to see her go. I enjoy. I mean, I'll watch wherever Bailey goes. Because I'm a fan of her work. She's done good business over the last 10 years. I've been watching her, man. So yeah, man. I mean, hopefully this isn't the end. I'd like to see her. I mean, I know she got the title win at 40, but like, I'd like to see. Come on, let Bailey really go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, she's super talented. I think she can work if she wants to keep working in WWE. There's definitely a spot for her. I think she'd be a really good like teacher. She's done, her own thing with a lot of female wrestling students,
Yeah,
teaching.
Lodestone.
So yeah, so if she wants to kind of branch out, do that full time, or join the NXT thing down there with Natty and Shayna Baszler, I think that'd be a perfect opportunity for her too. But she's still young, kind of I think mid 30s, so kind of older, but still I think physically can do it. So I would love to see her in AEW mix it up, or if she goes somewhere else. But it seems as though it's either she goes to WWE, she stays with WWE, or goes to AEW. I think those are kind of her only two options right now. Not only, but whatever the word is I'm trying to say, realistic opportunities she'll get or do.
Shall wait and see. We shall wait and see. All right. Sammy Guevara removes AEW from his bio.
Yep. So we got WWE contract talks, and now we got AEW contract talks with Sammy Guevara. He made up, once again, Sammy doing Sammy things, even though he's older than us. Sometimes just some things never change, one might say. But Sammy, yeah, he removed AEW from all of his Twitter bio stuff, and I don't know if this was like common knowledge, but it definitely kind of like resurfaced again that Ty Mello, his wife, fiance, baby mama, I don't know what their exact connection is, but
Aren't they married yet, right?
I don't know. I think they are married, but yeah, because he like proposed in front of the Eiffel Tower or something like that. But anyways, she and Anna Jay, I guess, asked for their release back when the first Women's Blood and Guts happened, but that got denied because we've seen Tony Khan not wanting to release people. He's just gonna put them on the shelf, Wheezy style from Toy Story 2, and just let their contract run out. And looks like maybe Sammy and Ty are on the way out. Sammy's one of the original four pillars. I think you can say at least two of the four panned out well with Darby Allin, MJF, and you can even throw in Britt Baker there as the fifth. Um, but
Bro, where's Britt Baker?
she did the ALS challenge for Rebel. Shout out Rebel and
Yeah,
Britt,
man.
but that's the last thing I saw.
Yeah, shout out Rebel, man. I know she's going through it right now, man.
Yeah, Sammy Guevara. I mean, I think he's kind of in that same boat as Santana, where he can be like a perfectly fine like mid card main level guy for WWE, but probably be somewhere in the upper mid to main event level NXT talent. And maybe Shawn Michaels and Triple H or whoever down there can like shake him and like tell him to quit being an idiot. But I even if he stops being an idiot, I don't think he can be anything kind of more than what I said he could be in WWE.
Wow.
I mean, we talk about white hot. Not saying he was ever white hot, but there was that point when he was with Jericho where it's like, oh, maybe he has something and maybe he can do something, but he just kind of gets in his own way, not a consistent push, and you know, Sammy Guevara. I think people kind of forget about him, honestly, because I mean, what the company's been there for 7 years. I feel like the last maybe three, he's kind of been like a non-factor for AEW.
Well, Cody's last match was that his last big thing?
I mean, he's been doing stuff in ROH with
I'm talking about like
Dustin and the Von Erichs, but like,
was that
yeah,
like
I
his
mean,
last big thing? That ladder match he had with Cody for the TNT title.
oh, he's only 32, so he's actually a couple weeks older than me, or a year and a couple weeks older. His birthday is July 28th. So, happy early birthday, Sammy Guevara, I guess. Where the hell is this Brothers Cage match at? There we go.
I'm about to say, damn, you don't got a cage match?
Of course, he has a lot of Collision, a lot of ROH. He wrestled on Dynamite in July. Oh, Bandito beat him. Yep, good for him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. The last thing I note he did was that ladder match with Cody Rhodes. All right, moving on from that. Trademark news: Zelina Vega. So she found a way to keep her name. Change the Z to an X. Very clever.
There you go. Yeah, is Alina. So,
Yes. Well, speaking of Zelina, we got to talk about her and her husband and some other people. So as of midnight, these people will be free agents. Kyrie Zane, Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Uncle Howdy, Nikki Cross, Dexter Loomis, Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Santos Escobar, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, and Zoe Stark. Where will these people land?
um, I do not know. There's a lot of talent, I think, on that list. People are going to be like, oh, AEW, TNA, New Japan, whoever. But I mean, if I'm like picking one person out of that list, I mean, it probably wouldn't be one. I probably just pick the Motor City Machine Guns, to be honest. I think they still have, like, obviously they're older, but I think kind of like a good, solid tag team is kind of hard to come by in terms of like, name and credibility and all that stuff. So, like, if we were to pick one person, like one thing to go to AEW, I probably would say them. Um, and like a breakout person, I still feel like Nikki Cross is like so talented, and if she wants to, she probably can like be more. But her and Damo, they're living together. I don't know if they plan on doing anything, start a family or anything like that. So who knows what's going on? But I still feel like our girl, Thicky Cross, for the OGs out there, is could be somebody.
Shout out Thicky Cross, respectfully, of course. All right. WWE announces New York City WrestleMania events during WrestleMania weekend next year. Obviously, they're going to be in Saudi Arabia. AAA and NXT are going to be doing some things over there. So I guess that's the destination.
Yeah, and then I was also going to do some watch parties in the Madison Square Garden Theater. So WWE, they, big weekend this week or last weekend for New York. So just announcing some stuff. I think I saw your boys at Wrestle It announce that they're going to do a New York event that weekend as well. So
Yeah, man.
it
Wrestle.
looks as though if there is going to be, unless AEW does run something, which there's still rumors that they were going to run a WrestleMania weekend event.
I,
It looks like New
they
York might be their
should.
thing.
Let's do it. I mean, if it's in New York, then I guess. Sup, Brandon? Us in the NY real quick.
I mean, New York City is one of the biggest city I've never been to. But I love going to New York. Watch around. It's in April. I guess baseball wouldn't start quite yet, but or maybe it would. I guess it would. So maybe catch a game or two. Try to go to both stadiums if they're available.
Let's see. Let's see. All right. SmackDown real quick. We're gonna crown an interim WWE Women's Champion with Rhea Ripley recovering from a torn meniscus. So they're having qualifying matches on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton, the US champion, is in. Nia Jax took an L to Jade Cargill via disqualification, so Jade Cargill is in. This ladder match will happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. Interesting that they're deeming it an interim championship because I don't know if they've ever really done that before.
They have in 2020 with the Cruiserweight Championship.
So, I mean, it's just an interesting that they're doing that way because usually they just strip them and then like whoever wins the first champion comes back and they just wrestle. So it ends up being the same thing in the end, but I just thought it was interesting that they're going with the like interim thing, which is a very UFC thing to do and a logical thing to do, but it's just something WWE hasn't done before for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe at the end of the day, they know they're going to still keep it with Rhea Ripley, so they don't want to like mess up the lineage or the numbers or whatever the reasoning, because
I
there has to be
mean,
some reason behind this.
how many world titles has she won? She won the woman. How many times did she? Oh, yeah. Let's see. This
That's
is
that's why I Google.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Rhea.
go. Well, are we counting NXT?
No, no, no,
Okay,
no.
if we're not counting NXT, I'll say she was one of like 4 times, maybe five.
Uh,
If I'm gonna go five, I'm gonna go 5 times. 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times.
Let me see. Championships. All
Fuck.
right.
I was gonna say four, but it was five.
Well,
But it is four.
WWE Women's Champion. She's held it twice. Women's World Champion twice.
She's
Uh,
held the NXT title once, which would have made it five if I was. And NXT, I guess UK Championship, so I guess it would have been six if we're counting NXT.
where are
Yep.
the? Oh, are they counting the Raw title and the SmackDown title as these two? That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, so Rhea won the World Championship as the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And
So she's a four-time world champion. Five wouldn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. All right. Well,
a
uh,
3-time Slammy Award winner.
yes. Baron Corbin's mission statement. It's simple. The locker room thinks they're all tough guys. He's the only real tough guy, and you're gonna find out in the brawl for all.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. That he's the last real tough guy. As long as we don't say that everyone back there is fake and I'm real, but
Yeah.
we're teetered on that. But
I don't
you know,
think we're getting there. Let's go to Monday Night Raw. Solo Sikoa offers to help Seth Rollins. He says, "What you did for Cody a couple years ago, I can do for you at SummerSlam." Basically saying, "I can be your shield, Seth." And then Seth tells Solo, "I got to think about it." Jacob Fatu comes out there. Solo gets out the way, and Jacob eats a super kick from Seth freaking Rollins.
I mean, it was just more kind of bloodline stuff, and Solo kind of saying the obvious that you get in the match with Roman. There's going to be other people involved, and at this point, they've told a story that Seth doesn't have anybody. I mean, I know they teased and did the thing with the Street Profits, which was kind of a thing, and then they just kind of moved on and like did their own separate thing. So I know both of them were expecting kids, but it would have been nice to maybe have like the Street Profits in Seth's corner to kind of give him some backup and kind of offset the bloodline. But
Dude, the Street Profits are not around anymore, dude.
well, They got to go be daddies. Both of them. Both of
Jacob
them.
Fatu goes on to defeat LA Knight, and then Royce Keys comes out there, Solo's out there, Jimmy comes out there, then Jay Uso returns, boom, and the bloodline stands tall.
This was just kind of a continuation of, oh, they're all stars, so who really cares? But I think the crowd is saying who really cares because there's really not like I think a side that they're pointing the crowd to cheer for, and I think the crowd kind of like kind of likes everyone, but everyone's not exactly like the most likable people in the world because obviously Solo people are not big fans of. People love LA Knight, but they also kind of like Jay, but Jay was kind of like doing some heelish things in this thing. So I think this is just one big mess, and I think it's not this thing is not working in terms of this 6-man
What do you
tag
mean?
match
How
going
is
to
it not
SmackDown.
working?
I mean, I just think it's cold. I don't think anyone really cares about this.
Who said nobody cares?
I mean, I know only Sith stealing absolutes, but I feel like the crowd at SummerSlam is probably they will pop for the entrances because they like doing the yeet and they like saying yeah, but then once the bell rings, the crowd is gonna be popping for high spots and not really caring for much else.
Man, you got some of the best talent in the world out there. They gonna pop off. Come on now.
The work will be good, but the reception will be poor. But that's also what happens when you put 28,000 people in a 65,000 seat stadium.
Don't sell them tickets, man. Are we gonna hear the Hifkis Samel?
Well, if they're that desperate, then maybe. And Moana 2, or sorry, the live action Moana ain't hitting right now, so it's getting blown out by the Odyssey. Shout out the
The
Odyssey. You gotta
Odyssey
watch
of
it.
Death Journey Fatu?
No, but close. Just the
Oh,
Odyssey.
okay, just a little bit.
Also, shout out Anne Hathaway, with all due respect.
With all due respect. Wait, is Anne Hathaway in the Odyssey?
Yep. I mean, whatever. Odysseus traveled 10 years to get back to Anne Hathaway, which is understandable.
Came a long way from the Princess Diaries, huh?
Yep.
All right. All right. Obafemi destroys JD McDonough.
I mean, yeah, pretty straightforward. They do some stuff with Danhausen and Oba and JD interact, and it leads to just a pretty straightforward squash type match.
You are cursed. Yeah.
Hey, Danhausen cursed Argentina, and it worked. So the boys 2 for 2 right now. Shout out Argentina. Or, no, don't shout out Argentina.
Uh,
Those-
all
I'm not
right.
gonna say anything.
Keeping with the Danhausen of it all, what Io Sky and Danhausen interfere or not? They distract Dominic Mysterio. Joe Hendry gets a big win over Dominic over the AAA Mega Champion. So SummerSlam, Dominic and Danhausen.
Yeah, I mean it's a perfectly fine undercard match. Probably wouldn't be on SummerSlam. I mean, maybe it would have been in SummerSlam if it was with just one night. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. Uh, but this is a clear heel babyface. People are cheering for Danhausen and booing Dom and JD.
They're
Like
also
they're
cheering
do
for
they're
what?
doing this well in the undercard, but just not in the main event.
What do you mean?
Cody and Punk both acting like a bunch of petulant children. Seth and Roman just going back and forth and just complaining about one another.
Did you see Roman Reigns put out the spoof of the Netflix thing talking about the greatest number two of all time, Seth Rollins?
Then we talk about the Shield. He's definitely 3 ahead of the.
Ah,
Don't disrespect my boy Moxley like that.
look at the numbers.
I've been Dean Ambrose guy since day one.
Look at the numbers.
Yeah, numbers lie.
No, the one don't. Shout out to the tribal chief, man. Stop playing with him. All right. The Vision beats down Alpha Academy yet again. Clear. We have good guys and bad guys here. It's that simple. And then Big Cass video package. They talk about his release in there. Can't wait to see Big Cass return the night after SummerSlam. Let's get into AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. We got Redemption coming up. Darby Allin loses to not LA Knight, Kevin Knight. So Kevin Knight retains the TNT title. Brodito beats Proto Okada with the two mishmash names. Divine Dominion defeat the Sisters of Sin to retain their tag titles, and then main event was Ospreay and Omega and Moxley defeating the Don Callis family. Yeah, matches were pretty good. Some promos. There was the promo with Tekla and Willow Nightingale with Mick Foley getting on in the mix. There was some dissension with Don Callis family because Okada and I am all over the place right now. Kyle Fletcher kind of got into it, and there was some miscommunication. But yeah, fine, perfectly fine go home show. But do have AEW Redemption this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, so a little earlier than normal. Just talked about Tekla and Willow. This is for the AEW World Title. This is the pay-per-view, I believe, before All In, so this is going to kind of set the stage for everything coming up. You know, I think Tekla, I don't want to say deserves because, the whole you deserve a thing, but I think Tekla, the year she's had has been pretty good. I think I want to see her take on Mercedes at Wembley more than I would like to see them run it back with Willow and Tekla, and the whole thing of Willow like dropping the title and then just coming back pretty soon afterwards is a little weird. And Tekla's kind of talking about it. I don't think it's productive for the heel to be talking about that, unless it leads to a heel turn from Willow. But I don't think they're going to do that either. Andrade at Idolo taking on Mark Davis for the national championship. Andrade's pretty hot. We've been talking about colors of hotness, and I think Andrade, is probably like orange hot. People are really much getting into him. I don't know if he's gonna get into that main event title scene quite yet, but I think this will be a pretty good test for him. I think if he wins, well, these titles, there's so many stupid titles that it's like if he wins, does that mean he's gonna get elevated to the main event level, or if he loses, does that mean it's a way for him to kind of not hold that title, but then go after the big one later? So I don't know, but I'm just gonna say Andrade wins to get one up on the Don Callis family. Um, I'm just going off of Wikipedia right now. Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight for the AEW World Championship. I don't know if this is the main event. It does not feel like a strong main event, but if you look at kind of all the other matches on the card,
Hold on. What's the main event?
I don't know what the main event is.
Kenny. You said Kenny. You said Kenny and Kevin Knight, right?
That's the world title match.
Hey, yo,
That is
listen.
the world title
AEW.
match.
Hold on. Tony Khan. You already know what to do, man. Shake it up. Don't shake it up. Go soar with the jet, man. My guy got that TNT title. I need him with that AEW World title. I need him to be Kevin two-time up in that mud trucker. And then that's what you go to All In with. You go with the Jet versus Will Ospreay, and then you have the Jet beat Will Ospreay, and you have him soar, baby. Yes, sir. You want to get people you want to be intrigued? That's what you do.
Philip, I appreciate the contribution to the AEW talk, but I do not think it's going to happen. I think Kenny
And
Omega.
they don't know what they're doing. If they don't do it, they don't know what they're doing.
Kenny Omega is probably just going to win, and it'll be a good match. But I mean, I don't think anyone's going to really buy into Kevin Knight winning this.
That's boring. Let's be different.
But yeah, I mean, I look at this card. I would assume this is the main event because I don't really. There's really nothing else that like
the title goes on last.
Yeah, and there's not like a super dream match really on this card. So kind of a weird card overall. It should be a good show with good wrestling matches, but hopefully not every match goes 45 minutes. Then we get the Painmaker, Chris Jericho taking on Tommaso Ciampa. No holds barred, so this will be a hardcore match. I mean, we talked about it a little bit like in our pre-production meeting that Chris Jericho kind of loses all the regular matches and then he'll like win the blow off at the end of the day. So maybe this will be Jericho winning and he just kind of moves on.
He
and
wins
does
the
something
most
else.
important match of the feud.
Yeah. So, and Tommaso Ciampa, he's one of those guys that could be maybe a little bit more, but I don't think he really needs to be, holding main event gold. So it's perfectly fine. Chris Jericho beats him. I mean, I think the TNT level is good, and he could be that, but obviously Kevin Knight is doing his own
Did he already
thing.
have it?
He did already have it. He had it for a cup of coffee. He beat, was it Briscoe? I think he had Briscoe for it.
Bro, like what they're about to do with Chad Gable in this IC title. Do that with Tommaso Ciampa. Let him run with that TNT title, man. Like, and gotta get rid of all these damn championships, first of all.
Brother, you're speaking of the choir over here, but guess what? We have another championship match with Kyle Fletcher taking on Bandito. This one should be absolutely fantastic. But I mean, I think just Kyle Fletcher wins. Everyone is banned from ringside, so that does give Bandito a little bit of an advantage. Um, but I still would just assume Kyle Fletcher gets the win because they're going to build to the triple threat with Okada and Konosuke Takeshita once Takeshita gets back from G1. Tag team title match, Cope and Cage taking on the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli and Pac. So we got a bunch of former WWE guys wrestling for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I would assume Cope and Cage win that one. Then
Yeah, bro. I
one.
mean, look at that's every former WWE guys has eventually fought for or held a championship in that company.
And speaking of another one, we got John Moxley teaming up with Will Ospreay and the Young Bucks in just a regular tag match. That one should be a lot of fun. I mean, the Young Bucks have kind of been opening these pay-per-views for the last few weeks or last few months, so maybe they go down that route and they just want to steal the show with Mox and Ospreay, but we'll have to wait on that front. TBS title, Hikaru Shida and Maya World. You know, Maya World getting a little bit of a push recently, but
Hikaru
Hikaru
Shida
Shida,
is the TBS champion.
yep, she won the Survival of the Fittest, the first ever Survival of the Fittest match in AEW history.
Hey, put it on my world, man. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that if you want to kind of shake it up. And I've been saying a lot of, non-title switches. So if you want to switch the title and put it on Maya, because, she's doing something right now, I am not opposed to that. Then a six-way ladder match to determine the number one contender for the AEW International Championship. I am unaware of this one. This must be like a collision thing. Jack Perry, the Beast Mortals, Commander, Speedball Mike Bailey, AR Fox, Nick Wayne, and Leo Rush, or clone. But I would assume it's probably going to be Leo Rush because Leo's been kind of getting over. Um, I mean, you can do any one of these people, so whoever wins is going to face John Moxley. I mean, it honestly does not matter at this point, but if you tell me to pick one, I guess I'll pick Nick Wayne.
What title does John Moxley have?
He has the international championship.
And
Oh no, sorry. Hand up accountability. Too many titles. He has a continental championship. Kyle Fletcher has the
okay, so
international
bro, like,
championship.
what level title is that? Like, but the
I,
Continental title is the three titles that became the one, right?
well, the continental title is the title that was a new title because they do the Continental Classic.
No, they did like a triple crown thing,
Well, they did the Continental and the International Championship, but then those got split off.
but they came together as a triple crown title, right?
Um, well, the International Championship used to be the All Atlantic title,
Yeah, I remember
which,
that.
uh,
See,
okay, hold
this
on.
is what I'm talking about, bro. This is exactly what I'm talking. You need a heavyweight title. You can have one or two single male mid cards titles. You got a tag title. You got a woman's title. Hell, you can even do it. Okay, look, this is what you do. A male. If because like WWE has hella titles too, bro. Like let's not even. But they have all the different divisions, so it makes it make sense. When I'm watching the AEW champion wrestle on Dynamite, a guy that has a title on Collision, and then a guy from Ring of Honor comes with a guy from New Japan with a title, and a guy from CMLL with a title. Like, what the hell are we doing,
And don't forget, we got Stardom. We got the Sisters of Sin and Tekla.
bro? Like, make it make sense. If you have a Ring of Honor,
Triple.
if you have a Ring of Honor championship, I only watch you on Ring of Honor, bro. That is it. That's it. I don't give a damn. Like when Samoa Joe, when he was the Ring of Honor TV champ, I should have only saw him on Ring of Honor. Chris Jericho, I know I draw and everything. I should have only saw him on Ring of Honor when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion. Just keep it that simple, man. If you want titles to float on Collision and Dynamite, your male woman's champ, your male world champion and your woman's world champion. Obviously, your tag champions and trios, they can float. You keep a TBS title on TBS. You keep a TNT title on TNT. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Nah, brother, you're speaking of the choir. Anyways, now that I know that's Kyle Fletcher probably that's gonna have the championship, I'm gonna say it's Speedball Mike Bailey because he's been going after the Don Callis family, even though he's been losing every single time. It's probably just Mike Bailey. And then we got a double dog collar match, or sorry, double chain tag team match with Jay White and Juice Robinson against the Dogs, David Finlay and Clark Connors. Hopefully, this means the return of Gabe Kidd. This is in Canada, so maybe it's a little easier for Gabe Kidd to get into Canada than it is to get in the United States because he's been having some visa issues recently. So I will say we get the return of Gabe Kidd, and he helps the Dogs get the win on that one. So that is Redemption, so far 10 matches. I mean, maybe they throw some other stuff on Collision, but like I said, nothing really stands out in total, but at the end of the day, it's going to be some good wrestling.
Yep, yep, yep. All right. What else do I have going on? Oh yeah, SmackDown is this weekend, guys. Go check out Friday night SmackDown at the Oracle Arena or the Oakland Arena. I'm sorry, you don't want to miss that. And if you're in the LA area, I will be in Los Angeles for Relentless Pro Wrestling, Journey 5-2 versus Ricky Shane Page, and a whole lot more. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss any of it. So if you see me in Los Angeles, pull up, say what's up. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.